We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Grand Rising. It's time for another episode of Coffee and Donuts for Grown-Ups with yours truly. They call me the Grumpy OG, so I guess I'ma just let them rock with the Grumpy OGs, yours truly. Crusted Legend, go by so many names, but we gonna keep it plain and simple. Hey man, it is hump day, Wednesday, it's the middle of the work week, man. We almost there. We halfway there to Friday, man, until the weekend starts. And before we get into today's segment, I know a lot of people that's out there that's Power Universe fans. So we got the last 5 episodes of the final season of Ghost Book 2 coming on this Friday. So we getting closer to that day, and a few other things that's going on this weekend, but I know for sure this is one thing that's on a lot of people's heads that they can't wait to see is what's going to happen in the final 5 episodes of Ghost Book 2, which is one of the most lit series I have seen. So yes, it's Wild Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday, whatever you want to call it, but it's getting closer to that weekend again, man. But hey, let's get on with the show, man. Shout out to the family. Hey, hit the like and dislike if you come in here and do all the same, baby. Shout out to BVO. Shout out to my brother D3. Shout out to Prize Fighter. Shout out to Melon Queen. Shout out to the whole JBT. Shout out to TWT. And shout out to everybody that get on the OG, the Grumpy OG nerds on these YouTube streets. Hold on, people. I got to let the beautiful Mr. Neats in this morning, who always coming in and chiming in on my coffee and donut for grown-ups with all that interruption. Gonna make me pull out my licking stick. Good. Good. Good morning. Yeah, so I want to start today's show off with I actually want to pick up on what took place yesterday. We were talking about throwbacks. So there was a few more we didn't get to because you know how the morning gets with me at a certain time. I try to get this situation out the way because it gets a little busy sometimes. But let's just get that started so we can get our day going on. So yeah, shout out to everybody, all the beautiful people that's in attendance this morning. So we was talking about throwback fights. So there's a few more throwback fights that I didn't mention, and we'll mention those couple fights, and then we get on to what else we popping off with today on Coffee and Donuts. Oh, so when we talk about throwback fights, they don't have to be like real old fights, but fights that happened, within the last year or, a year or more, because some people like to bring up some of these fights that just happened in the past couple of years as throwback fights, which some of these fights, recent months and stuff, can be a throwback fight later on. Tommy Hill in the building, Gregory in the building. So the next throwback fight that came to mind to me was the first fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, because everyone that was a boxing fan and even a non-boxing fan to a casual, when that fight was finally mentioned that the real deal Holyfield was going to get in the ring with Iron Mike Tyson. Now, and I get it, people, because some people, a nice amount of people say, well, come on, Crush, this wasn't the same Mike Tyson. He didn't got off his square, he got on focus. He didn't lost to Buster Douglas. So it wasn't the same Mike. He had the wrong people around him, So they try to take away credit from Evander Holyfield. And they say, well, if they would have fought before Mike went to jail, would have been a different outcome. I don't know about that, because Evander Holyfield is probably one of boxing's greatest warriors, because he don't give up. He's one of those guys. He's willing to inhale all the smoke and take some 3rd-degree burns. but he's going to give him back in return. So if you don't get him all the way out of there, he's going to be there. So when they mentioned his fight and it was finally going down, I was like, yo, we finally get to see, because Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield was like the anticipation of Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Like the anticipation of I can say Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis, because we don't know what's going to happen yet, if that ever happened. But y'all get what I'm saying. So the anticipation level was very high. So everybody was talking about the fight, and everybody was in on betting on that fight, even back then, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Even down to, you know, my little brothers and them, they was betting their little candy money and, you know, allowance and stuff like that, because this fight was like, out of all the fights that was going on, and back then, you know, Don King was putting together some great fights. Shoot, man, we could just use the whole Don King promotion as throwback fights if we want to really get into it, because Don King's probably one of the best promoters to ever do it, that ever did it. Because, man, we was getting like action-packed fights back to back, back to back to back to back, like a damn DJ on the two turntables. But that fight, man, and then it was a lot of action in that fight. People thought that when Mike hit Holyfield first, Holyfield was gonna go down and don't get up. And I'm like, listen, y'all, what y'all mean? Y'all just think that Holyfield is just gonna lay down for one hard shot by Mike Tyson? Man, I get it, but Holyfield been getting hit. He been getting hit, so he's used to taking a punch. So I'm like, what we talking about, man? You know, Holyfield is used to taking a punch. It ain't like a Mike punch. Listen, man, all them dudes was cracking back then. In heavyweights, they hit anyway. They can hit. You know, so the anticipation, then I'm like, okay, but what if Holyfield take that shot for Mike? And Holyfield can throw it back too. And you know the difference between Holyfield and Mike throw, you know, Mike trying to hit you with that one-hitter quitter. Holyfield throw punches and bunches. And they got some sting on it. So we like, damn. So when the fight was happening, and you know, the first round, you know, Mike trying to get him up out of there. Mike was trying to get Holyfield out of there in the first round. In the first 3 rounds, he was trying his hardest to get him up out of there. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Not just because to make a statement to say, yeah, I'm that boy, I am Mike Tyson, nobody can touch me. But if he knew, hey man, I gotta try to get this guy out of here as fast as I can, because I know the longer this fight go, it's gonna get harder for me. Mike knew that. Mike knew he was messing with a tough customer when it came to Evander Holyfield. He knew what he's hitting for. Y'all thinking all that whole walk to the ring was, oh, this is a different Mike Tyson because he's Muslim now. It had nothing to do with it. Mike knew what he was getting in that ring with. You understand what I'm saying? Mike knew. He knew. And man, it was a classic fight. It was a classic fight, because how can we forget? Mike was getting tagged up so bad by Evander. Once Evander warmed up and started taking it to Mike on the inside, man, Mike said, I'm sick and tired of this. Mike talking about his headbutts. No, they was glove cuts, man. And he bit the man in the air. He went savage mode. No one was expecting that. None of y'all here that's present right now that was old enough to see that fight. And all the things that can happen, you can always expect the unexpected. That's my mindset. But that wasn't unexpected. I wasn't expecting. Nobody expect Mike Tyson to get mad and start chewing off ears and whatnot. Man, you know, they turn into Hannibal Lecter in the ring. But this is what happens. Sometimes that's a reaction, because when you're in there with someone, now you're a beast. But then when you facing another beast and they out-beast you, they put you in a position that you don't feel quite comfortable in. And that you've never really been in before. Oh, Mike been in some stuff before, but not like with Holyfield. So it was a whole different dynamic when Holyfield was taking it to Mike. It wasn't like the Trevor Burbicks and the Razor Ruddicks and all those other dudes that Mike fought. Even though those guys was those guys, but Holyfield was Holyfield. Cut different. They always cut different. Shout out to the heavyweight division of the 90s and the 80s. Totally cut different. Period. And we watching this fight, we like, wow, it gave us something to talk about. You know, they damn, you know, why you fight him in the air? Then they did it again. So when you talk about throwback fights, it's like it's so nice. We had to run it back twice, thrice times. That's what I'm talking about. Memorable fights. And you hear this, right? Even though it was a belt on the line for you people way in the back. Come on up front, y'all can't hide. Come on up front. You might as well sit up front because I'm gonna put you on Front Street anyway. Right? Way in the back. Do y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Man, listen. No one knew it was gonna go down like that. But it did. But we ain't talking about the belt. It was a belt on the line. And we talking about a fight that did have a belt on the line. But guess what? We ain't talking about the belt. We're talking about the fight. Keep on telling y'all, for all y'all way in the back that keep on with that old belts matter. They shouldn't matter to you. The only belt should matter to you is the one that you wear around your waist. But look at the way that today's boxing is going now. Do y'all really think belts matter? No, not really. But let's moving on with that. That was a great fight, a hell of a throwback fight. I got another throwback fight for y'all, man. And this is, I mean, when we talk about hard punches, when we talk about boxing most dangerous, most hardest punches, a lot of time y'all keep coming up with heavyweights. Y'all keep coming up with heavyweights every time, man. Every time it's a heavyweight, man. Man, even in other weight divisions, there are men, and there were men that were sitting as hard as heavyweights. Still, when you hear about the Ernie Shavers and Mike Tyson and Deontay Wilder and George Foreman and all that, they was heavyweights. But then there was another weight class, middleweight, junior middleweight. Two boxing's most respectable knockout artists, dangerous punches, Kill Bill guys, one shot kill was in that lower division. Shout out to Gerald McKellen, G-Man, and Julian the Hawk Jackson. Y'all want to talk about some throwback fights? Now, how about that? Woo! You see that? And these was guys that was, you could easily say, listen, man, I ain't really trying to get in there with this dude. I might can really get myself hurt. These, I'm telling you, two of boxing most dangerous punches. And they got at it, people. And just like we was trying to figure out with Mike Tyson and Evander. And this happened before that. And we like, hold up. Julian Jackson and Gerald McKellen getting in the ring with each other. And I always said, even back then, I said, I would like to see them fight, but I didn't know it was going to take place. So when that fight got announced that Gerald McKellen and Julian Jackson was getting in the ring, I said, Elizabeth, you might have to come down here and get me because I can't pick a winner. Somebody's going to die. When I heard about that matchup, I said, somebody's going to die. We know what the Hawk Jackson was doing to people. This dude, I'm going to say he had some disrespectful punching power. Then he had his little signature joint that he did. You know, stick his arm out and point it down to the canvas as you falling. Because he knew you was going to sleep. So he already knew what this dude was going to be working with. You know what I'm saying? He already knew what he was going to be working with. They got in there with the G-Man. And a lot of people thought the Hawk was going to knock G-Man out. And I wish social media was around back then because the debates that was going on in the barbershops, you know, the bars and stuff, wherever the OGs, you know, where they was at talking boxing, in Philadelphia, that was a big debate going on the street about those two dudes. And man, did they give us fans something to talk about. Memories, reminisce. And I ain't talking about the Mary J. Blige song. We want to talk boxing. We ain't got to waste time with the talking on nonsense, because there was so much great done in the sport of boxing. So many men, warriors that deserve their notoriety. Some of these men was even better than the guys that's in the top of the game now, was even better than some of the guys that was getting more, promotion than them. That's how it is. That's where you get a murderer's row from. Because all elite dudes didn't want to fight those guys. But you had this going around, but you had men that was willing to get in the ring with each other. You couldn't ask for a better era of boxing than that. Couldn't. And they got it in. Not once, but twice. G-Man beat him twice. He beat him twice. He beat the Hawk twice. We know, man, too many people wasn't messing with the Hawk, man. So if you beat the Hawk, he was special. And I'm like, man, they run. I think it was around. I mean, they was throwing blows from the very first round. From the very first round, they was letting it go. And I'm gonna say like it was around, around round 3 or 4, and Julian Jackson had caught Gerald McCullum with I think it was a overhand right, and G-Man just paused in his movement for about a few seconds, between 3 to 5 seconds, like, oh snap. And it looked like he was like out of it, no focus. Man, he responded back. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I said, oh my goodness, yes. Somebody's going to die in that fight, man. And man, that was an awesome fight, man. If y'all don't remember it, and you want to talk about some throwbacks, then I can give you a whole bunch of fights to go back and watch. I mean, when this was boxing. They ain't boxing today. They video game boxing today. They playing boxing today. That's what they doing. And that's a sport that you can't play. You must do. But they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it like they did back then. You really can't expect it. I expect them to do something different anyway, man. But damn, that was a hell of a fight, throwback fight. People couldn't stop talking about it. People couldn't stop talking about it. And oh my goodness, there's another one. This man coming up again. Tommy Hearns and the Marvelous One. That was another throwback fight. Anticipated. Man, come on, man. What we talking about? Man. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'd rather spend time with bringing up the old fogey stogies than try to create stuff for these new cats, because they ain't giving us much to talk about. But, in all honesty, talking about throwback fighting, yeah, some of these fights from this generation of fighters, we can say it's a throwback fight. Like, throw one out there from right. I seen something earlier. Let me look in the Chizat. I seen some earlier, and somebody was talking about a throwback fight, or the newer guys. D1 in the building, brother. D3, come on up here, man. I might need you in a few minutes, man. Prize, where you at? Tommy Hill in the building. I got the whole fam in the building. Salute to everybody, man. Salute to everybody. But we talking about throwback boxing. And now, what can this generation bring us? Is this generation of fighters going to be able to bring us conversations like this? Are they going to be able to do it? I don't think so, because they ain't even willing to test themselves like that, people. They ain't willing to test themselves like that. But hopefully, man, we get some people that will give us a reason to talk about it. But I say, out of today's fighters that we see, man, hey, I'm gonna keep it real. Even though it's one-sided, I'm gonna give y'all one fight of today that's going to be a true throwback. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is going to be a throwback. Favorite, no matter what was the outcome, no matter if it was unbalanced or balanced, man, listen, throwback. No matter what condition our boy EJ was in, I'm just talking about it because, hey, as y'all can see, when that fight took place, how long did they talk about that fight? How long was they talking about how Bud styled and beat up on EJ? For months. For months. I definitely say that's a throwback match. You know, out of today's fighters. I give y'all another one in my opinion of today's fighters that we could consider a fighter that is going to be considered a throwback. I'm gonna say kind of hard because you got to be critical with this stuff. I'm trying to see. I said Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman throwback fight. Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter is a throwback fight because they was good fights. Matter of fact, that whole situation right there. Oh yeah, of course. Oh, we got Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev coming up. That's definitely gonna be a throwback fight. You are correct, D3. That's definitely gonna be a throwback fight. Definitely gonna be a throwback. Definitely gonna be a throwback. Let me see what's another good throwback fight. I would say damn, we just seen this fight too. Man. Ben Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards. Ooh, that's a throwback fight. Sonny Edwards and Bam Rodriguez and Bam Bam. Man, that's a classic. That's a throwback. I don't know if y'all agree with me or not, but that's definitely a throwback. Definitely a throwback. Definitely a throwback. Definitely a throwback. Yes, indeed. Another one. Trying to think. What's another good throwback we would consider a throwback fight that's of today that's definitely gonna be a throwback fight? I would say Canelo and Bivol, no matter the outcome. Heck yeah, Tommy Hill, heck yeah. Listen. Yeah, all the Wilder and Fury fights is throwback fights. They're definitely throwback fights. But yeah, definitely Canelo and Benavidez, that'd be a hell of a throwback fight, man. Hopefully we do get that fight. You know, hopefully they do get that in. But I mean, definitely with the heavyweights D1, you right, man. Oh my goodness. Hell yeah. She Wilder and the 2 times he fought Ortiz. A lot of these heavyweight matchups, you can say that's throwbacks, man. We could throw Andrew Ruiz in there when he beat AJ. That's a throwback. And, you know, these heavyweights that was getting it in, they throwbacks, because they was good matchups. Some of the matchups with the heavyweights have been fair matchups. You know what I'm saying? And they're throwback fights. Hell yeah. I give y'all another one besides Sonny Edwards and my man Bam. Oh shoot! Man, Chocolito, his last fight, man. Listen, Chocolito, man. Chocolito is a throwback dude, man. Because soon when you think Chocolito is over, he shows us that he's not. Oh yeah, Boots and Crawford would definitely be a fan favorite throwback. A fight that hopefully we'll get to see. Hopefully that we will get to see. I would love to see that. That's the okay. I'll give y'all 2. Devin Haney beating Kambosos and Lomachenko. You can put that in there for Devin Haney as a throwback fight. 2 throwback fights. They're his most notable wins, and I think they're respectable wins. Yeah, you know what? It is, bro, Tommy Hill. Hell yeah, with Tommy Hill, you know you're a hell of a matchmaker anyway, so you're gonna know some fights that was a throwback, definitely. Yeah, definitely Loman Haney, Tank and Ryan. Yeah, but definitely Figueroa and Scooter. Definitely. And see, this is what we want out of today's fighters. Like how we talking about these fights now. We could be talking about these fights 5, 10, 15 years later. You know, but I have true confidence in a few fighters that I know that's gonna give us nothing but that. Once Abdullah Mason once they start upping up his competition, he's gonna give us a lot of throwback stuff because his performances now and him not even fighting anybody many names is a throwback because the kid performs. He comes to perform. Shakur Stevenson, Nakatani, that's a throwback fight. Shakur and Oscar Valdez. I'll throw that in there. Tank Aloma, of course. Tanking and my man Santa Cruz. That's a throwback. We'll be talking about that. Probably yeah. That's a throwback. What else? What else? Yeah, today fighters definitely we had some throwback fights or some matchups that most likely going to happen can wind up being throwback fights. Yes. Yeah. That's a throwback. Yeah. Ramirez and Espino. Woo! Now you cooking, time. Yo, Tommy, you bringing it. And Big Great said Tank and Pitbull. Yes, that's a throwback fight. That's a throwback fight. People will be talking about that for years. But goddamn, Ramirez and Espinoza. Yo, Tommy Hill, man. Man, listen. That was a hell of a rumble, man. That was a hell of a rumble. I'll give you another one that we could throw in there with today's fighters. EJ on the winning side this time. EJ and Ugas. Errol Spence and Udenis Ugas. Throwback fight. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Shoot. I even throw hey man, I even throw a female matchup in there. Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. That's the throwback. That was a hell of a performance. That's a good performance. Clarissa Shield and my girlfriend Sean Cruz when they rumbled, that's a throwback to me, man. That's a throwback fight. Give y'all another one. Just was there. Hey, I'll give y'all one. We just seen this fight not too long ago. Yes, Serrano and Katie Taylor. Yes. Munguia and Devinchenko fight. Yeah, see, it's a lot of throwback fights, man. A lot of throwback fights has given us some fights to where we can actually really talk about these fights. You know, so even though we've been complaining, a bit, but some of these fights, we had gotten some good fights. We had gotten some fights that's going to have us talking about these fights, man. You know, that's facts. Yeah, the woman do. You got Shields and oh man, I love that fight, Shields and Gabriella. Yeah, man. and the women, they do get in the ring with each other, man. What's the fight with what's my girl name? Um, Alicia Baumgartner. Her and when she fought she beat the home girl. Damn. Y'all know what fight I'm talking about. Y'all know what fight I'm exactly talking about. But yeah, there is a lot of throwback fights, man. Don't get it twisted. A lot. A lot of throwback fights. Michaela Mayer, yeah, that's definitely a throwback fight. I even watched that fight a few times. I really like that. That was a good fight, man. That definitely was a good fight. That was one of my favorite female matchups and performances. That was a good fight, man. Cause that fight, actually, I was wrong. I never picked against Baumgartner, but that was the first time I picked against it. Cause Michaela Mayer got hands, man. She got hands. So definitely got hands. Definitely a great fight. Definitely a great fight. The woman be doing anything. I gotta give it to them. But it wouldn't be too many fights that wouldn't make the throwback fight list with the woman, because the reason why it's easier for them in that aspect, because it's not as many women boxers as it is as men, so it's easier to make fights happen. And these women, they want to get paid, they want to get the notoriety up and all that good stuff. So of course they're going to get in there and give us something to talk about. But yeah, shout out to women boxing, man. They be doing their thing already. Carolyn Du Bois, Daniel Du Bois' sister, she already given us some throwback fights with the performances that she had in her few fights, man. She's awesome. She's definitely awesome. I'm trying to think. It was another throwback. Oh man! Oh wait, Kell Brook and Errol Spence. Kell Brook, when he took the belt from Sean Porter, they throwbacks in my opinion. That is a throwback fight, man. Yeah, that was a throwback fight. That's a fight a lot of people say Triple D won, man. But I had him beating him too. I had him beating him too. I did. I had him beating him too. Yeah. I had him beating him too. But look, I want to move on to something else, because we can always come back to that. I'm gonna make that a series. But I wanna the next part is going to be the last part of this morning's coffee and donuts. So I'm gonna switch it up, because something came to mind real quick. And I want to know how y'all feel about it. So this is on hip hop. Ye was winning that fight. So this is on hip hop. I heard something yesterday, and it grabbed my attention. It grabbed the grumpy OG attention. And I read something. LL Cool J, right? He came out, and LL gave his Mount Rushmore of Def Jam record label. Okay. LL did not add DMX or Jay-Z onto the Def Jam Mount Rushmore. So a lot of people feeling some type of way about this, that how in the heck Jay-Z and DMX is not on LL's Cool J's Def Jam Mount Rushmore. I understand people arguing there, but I also understand LL's Cool J point. See, because they basing it off of yeah, I'm about to
take the up badge?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. He let me see. He LL reason for his Mount Rushmore, I clearly understand, because he you gotta look at it. When Def Jam started, people, we ain't talking about the people who start bringing Def Jam money after Def Jam didn't already have money. Because see, I understand why people say, why not Jay-Z and DMX? Well, first of all, right, they wasn't always signed to Def Jam. They were signed to other labels, DMX and Jay-Z. So how can they automatically go on Def Jam's Mount Rushmore? I mean, and then when they both signed contracts, when they both were signed to Def Jam, I mean, how much work did they really put out? You understand what I'm saying? Just doing the building. So I agree with LL Cool J because, see, LL Cool J's Mount Rushmore is himself, Public Enemy, the Beastie Boys, and Slick Rick. That's what LL said his Def Jam Mount Rushmore is. I'm gonna run that across you again. LL said to him, the Def Jam Mount Rushmore is himself, Slick Rick, Public Enemy, and the Beastie Boys. I agree with that. Y'all know I'm agree with that because I'm from that era. And these was the guys who was first brought that big money into Def Jam years, way before DMX and Jay-Z. And by the time DMX and Jay-Z started Def Jam, they was already on other record labels. Run DMC don't get no credit for Def Jam Mount Rushmore because of this, Tommy Hill. Now, when you scratch your head, now we know who run Def Jam. Now, Run of Them did come on there later, but you know, most of their success with their most notable songs was on Profile. Remember when the whole time, you know, Run should have been signed to his brother, but he wasn't. So
This is not the one. It was in that, like that, the one you had yesterday.
I don't know what they switched it up. They take this one.
No, but where is the one that you had yesterday? It ain't this one.
No, that one had the
Where is it?
I don't know who had.
Okay, it needs to be found before me gets in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't know who used it yesterday on her shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It might be downstairs with Rashid. I check with him. Rashid might have it. All right. If not,
it's supposed to go back where it's.
got it. I'm gonna go down there and check now.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so I understand where he's coming from. You know? What's going on? Yeah, so I can understand where LL is coming from, man, because those dudes was the ones that was bringing that money into Def Jam like that. Even though Running Them came later. You see what I'm saying? So I get where you coming from, bro. I get where you coming from. But I have no disagreement with LL's Cool J's assessment of Def Jam Mount Rushmore because, like I said, Slick Rick, you know, because they was the real first big money makers on Def Jam. Come on, the Beastie Boys, come on, the Beastie Boys. Come on, the Beastie Boys, and they, you know, the Beastie Boys, you know, especially in the mind of true hip hop heads, and the real diehard hip hop heads, they the only you know, white boys that definitely know that need some get the credit. You know what I'm saying? Say that was really good and it was really hip hop. You got your badge? Can I see it? Thanks. Yeah, so yeah, hell yeah. But now with DMX should be on what was the label Rough Riders was signed to now? That would make sense to have DMX on Rough Riders, you know, Mount Rushmore. But y'all gotta remember, Def Jam already made millions and millions and millions before Jay-Z and DMX, respectfully. And even with Run DMC, because by the time they signed to Def Jam, they was that more so at the end of their career, and their hits wasn't like that. You understand what I'm saying? The hits wasn't like that. They didn't have all these consecutive hits and stuff like they did earlier when they was signed to Profile. You know, by the time they got the Def Jam, making more of that rock and roll stuff that people wasn't really feeling. You know, that's the way that they went. But yeah, other than that, yeah. But I had to get that out because they was really trying to give my man LL Cool J some smack on it. You know, he's really trying to give him some snack on it, right? You feel me, dude? Hell of a catalog, man. We talking about the Beastie Boys, the first white boys in hip hop on wax, and they was dope. The Beastie Boys was dope, man. Them dudes is nice with it. It wasn't like they was corny, and they was just being white boys that like hip hop. You didn't look at it. Beastie Boys was never ever considered culture vultures. How about that? But whenever white boys came in to the game, a lot of them was considered culture vultures. Huh? Hell yeah, D1. Hey, y'all, and everybody that's in attendance, everybody that's in attendance this morning, JBT family, TWT, y'all better be ready Friday, because the grumpy OG is going to be on the podcast with the angry white man. Get ready, baby, get ready. Yes, I will be joining my brothers. They ain't the average white boy. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna have a ball Friday. So y'all stay tuned. I'm just waiting for what the topic gonna be. And man, I'm gonna kick it with my bros and we're gonna have a ball, man. We're gonna have a ball. But yeah, I could come back to that. Let that shit stay there. I gotta go next door. Had a supervisor shit getting on my nerves, y'all. Good morning.
Good morning. Morris, can you do me a favor? Can you open up the president's office?
Okay. Got you, Kate? Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, we gonna have a ball, baby. Who else? It's so many, but I get where they was coming from now. If they revamp or do another one, you know, the second coming or the third coming of Def Jam, then you know, DMX, Jay-Z, a few other guys that wind up signing to them, you know, later, then they can get some credit. But other than that, hey, bro, how you doing? You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. But what we got coming up, man? I have it. All right, cool, no problem. I have no problem with it. No problem with it. LL was correct. So I don't know why, you know, the couple people there was any feelings about it. That is correct. I mean, just look at the landscape, and for the ones that's from that era, we know who was making the money. We know who was doing sellout tours. You know what I'm saying? And I know firsthand. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, I've been on the road, Beastie Boys like twice. We've been on the road with LL twice. We've been on the road with Slick Rick a few times. We even went on the road with Public Enemy a few times. So it was a few times when I was Philly's on 3 times dope. We wound up on Def Jam card, performance card. So Slick Rick was definitely killing the game with the Great Adventures of Slick Rick. Considered the #1 storyteller in all hip hop at all time. As bad Slick Rick is with that, I can't give him that because there was other ones too that was more creative. But Rasheen had it. Yeah. 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 So Slick Rick, how he was coming, you know, and then Public Enemy, when they dropped, they brought a whole different sound. Bump Rush the Show debut album was like, man, Joe was crazy. That Joe was crazy, you know. was crazy. We know how LL was coming. LL probably was, nah, I ain't gonna say was. To me, LL Cool J is the most successful, multi-diverse rap artist out of all rappers and MCs because he was so successful in every genre of hip hop. You know, no matter if he did hardcore, if he did some b-boy, you know, some underground, no matter what, if he did a collabo, it was dope. It was definitely dope. It was definitely dope. CDK. So we got anything this weekend, DS3? What's going on, DS3? Who we got this weekend, man? Do we got any fights? I'm all over the place with it. I'm thinking about fights that's not happening just yet. But what do we have this weekend? When do is Berlinger Canelo? When is Berlinger and Canelo? I ain't checked my schedule lately. But listen, man, I got great get on to this meeting, man. Thank you for joining me this morning for Coffee and Donuts for grown-ups, milk and cookies for you rookies. We ain't got time for y'all. This is BBO Boxing TV, and you just been looking at this morning's Coffee and Donuts by yours truly. Everybody drop a flame for yourself. It's Crush the Legend, the Grumpy OG, and I'll see y'all later. Next up coming is Hardcore Boxing with my man Jay Hardcore, and I'm out, y'all. BBO, take us out, bro.
Yo, the JBT is back at you with another raffle. This time we be giving away an iPad, 10th generation iPad, on entertainment in the pocket of your hand. So you wonder, how do you get this iPad? It's only $10. We're giving away block specials for all our prizes this time around. $10 per entry, 3 entries for just $25 to get you in this time. Who don't love a block special? Not only are we giving away an iPad, but it's more gifts. Who don't love gifts? Gifts on top of gifts. Send that money, JBT Network 1, JBT Network 1, JBT Network 1. Now, what you say is the other prizes now? We linked up with Kenichi Bear. Noise canceling headphones from the young brother straight from Baltimore, Maryland. So, if you want an addition to your $10, you get a secondary prize if you don't win the first prize. And then, don't forget, we got more. Don't win the first prize, don't win the second prize. Who don't need an air fryer? We're giving away a Ninja air fryer. Get your food right, eat healthy, get right. All on the JBT. $10 once again. I'll get you all of this. Your chance is golden. You got to be in it to win it. If you ain't in it, you don't get no prize. $10, JBT Network 1. Good luck. It's on you.
We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest?
I didn't know you could cook up like
Let's
that.
see. Oh, we boxing. Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video. Put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO. Bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone.